Cross-cultural diversity and inclusion. This is Dr. Amina Ali. Welcome to video number 4 of this series. We are talking about small acts of inclusion, welcoming diversity. In this video, we're going to be talking about team building. Now, that in and of itself is easy. Team building. We take a group of people and we put them together and we do something dynamic with the actions and energy that they bring, right? Sort of a definition, okay? Well, today we're going to talk about 3 topics in that team building that can be a great acumen to bringing inclusion and welcoming diversity. We're going to be talking about skills, talents, and abilities. And of course, as we always do, we're going to define the word and then use it as we progress into its function and form as we welcome this deliciousness of diversity. How about that? So let's go. All right, the first one we're going to talk about is ability. The word ability. What does that mean? My notes say it's a competency or a proficiency. A competency or proficiency. Now, you having an ability to watch this video, you're competent enough to visualize it or have an audio piece that can hear it if you can't visualize it. Or you can understand it in its form because of the English language. You have the ability to listen and understand. So the abilities that we have in diversity overshadows a lot of what it is that we do. We take it for granted sometimes. My notes say we have a competency for what we are comfortable with. But we have a proficiency in negating that which we don't understand. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but as I mentioned in the last video, this is something that we can unify in our team building through groups. We talked about groups in the last video. We talked about different ways we can have groups. We also talked about different things that we can do within the group. This is no different. We're going to volunteer in a Latino group or an organization, maybe even a community center. And we're going to build our team based on who is there in that group and who is allowing themselves to come forward in your help. So for example, I'd like to learn soccer. What better way than to join a team? And who does soccer better than those that hit that goal better than those in the Latino community? And I just love that announcer when he says that. I just wait for them to hit that ball in that net just so hear him say that. And what better way than to conjoin in a Latino group? So we're going to go in there and we're going to find who's one of the stars of it. Who's the next Pele, if I'm not dating myself. And who's the next star of the soccer field in the Latino community? We're going to go and we're going to build that team. And now we're going to take those stars and we're going to bring it back into our community. And we're going to have them on certain Saturdays teach soccer to our community. We're going to build a team from a team that's already built. And we're going to learn proficiencies from the abilities of those that are in another community. And we're going to learn how they do it. Even though soccer is different in the Caribbean as it is in the Latin American countries, it's equally different than it is in the European countries. But we're going to learn that. And we're going to learn that by learning a new style and a way to play soccer. Now, of course, the United States has it as soccer, but they call it football. Just in the name itself allows us to understand that there's a difference in how the game is played. Let's learn that in our new team. Next, we're going to talk about skill. Skill. Now, what does that mean? How is that defined? My notes say it's a dexterity of that competency. So remember we said abilities were competencies and it's a proficiency. Here, skill is that dexterity. How do you use it? How do you finagle that ball in football? Or better yet, how do you formulate a train the trainer class in cultural competency? Uh-oh, I just opened up a whole Pandora's box. This is inviting 10 people from 10 different cultures and doing a train the trainer competency on cultural diversity and inclusion. Are you serious? I'm like ready to teach that class right now and I haven't even put it together. Can you imagine 10 different people from 10 different parts of the world? somebody from the African continent, somebody from the Australian continent, somebody from Eastern Europe, somebody from Western Europe, somebody from Northern Europe, somebody from the United States, Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, somebody from different cultures that we can combine together in a room and just have them talk. Oh my goodness. Just have them talk. We can bring a topic. We can say recess. And we can have 10 different variations of the word recess and what it means in their culture. What did you do for recess? What did you do for recess? How did you play on recess? Did you play at recess? Was recess formulated like it is in the United States? Oh my goodness. And then put together a train the trainer program that is going to teach cultural competency in each of those dialects. So that means somebody from Bangladesh who's talking about recess in their culture is now going to be a part of someone from an Ethiopian community and how they actually have recess. We're going to have recess like those in Bangladesh do. And we're going to do that today. So now that teacher that teaches Somali children in maybe a third world country is now going to say, wow, I never saw it that way. I never knew it that way. But who wins? That child. They learn cultural competency and the non-biased formulation of understanding of each other by default. I learned soccer that way. I didn't know that that was from the Philippines. That's just the way I play football. I didn't know that there was any other way to play it. How cool is that? Now they come to a European playground or they come to American public school and now they get to teach those children a different way to play soccer. They don't even know that they've learned anything and that we don't even know what they know. But now we do. Oh, wow. How cool. All right, last one. We're going to talk about talent. So we talked about ability, which is a competency or proficiency. Then we talked about skill, which is the dexterity of that competency. The last one is talent. Talent is an aptitude that is natural or unlearned. So what did we just say? That Philippine child that learned how to play football from a Jamaican woman or Jamaican man is now taking that to the UAE and now teaching them a different way to play football. Now, that's a talent they didn't even know they had, but it becomes a cultural competency in someone else's neck of the woods because now they learn a different way and they compete differently now. So they learn something new. That's the competency. And then the culture is bettered or at least enlightened. Now, we're not trying to change cultures. We're not trying to say that ours is better and that Philippine child is now teaching them a different way and they need to do it that way from now on. But how cool is it to change up the game of football from what they do it to how you do it? Just to see how different it is. Welcoming it as something that is good, true, and right without any bias. Children are resilient creatures, and they're the best examples of this nonconformity, as I call it. But they also are great teachers as to how a non-biased, non-judgmental confrontation with two children can actually be a competency that adults can respect. Until next time, understand that we are the best example of what the world needs. So let's be good to each other.